What is going on, everyone? Gavin Murphy from Byron Productions here today with a spoiler review of Captain America Civil War. I just got back from watching this about 3 hours ago, and I've been processing everything. It's only after one viewing of the movie. And yes, this will have spoilers involved because it's not much of a review. I mean, it is a review, but it's more just me rambling my opinions, my thoughts about the story, the characters, the new characters, the old characters, the plot. So, obviously, it's about the struggle of should the heroes accept limitations from the United Nations? It's set up in the beginning, I think they're in Nigeria. Maybe they're in Wakanda, I don't know. I think they're in Nigeria. And they're fighting Crossbones, I think. Yeah, fighting Crossbones. It's like Cap, Scarlet Witch, Black Widow, not Vision, I don't know. But they're all fighting. And they end up, Crossbones about to suicide bomb the place. And Scarlet Witch just throws him up in the air and he explodes a building and a bunch of people die. And then it cuts to like a seminar that Tony Stark is in with a bunch of MIT students and he has them all free loans and stuff. Then he's going up the elevator and he talks to this woman and she's like talking about how sometimes being nice is just talking about getting rid of guilt, because his seminar was about, it involved the guilt and removing bad memories from yourself, I guess. I don't really know. And then she basically called Tony a murderer, saying that the Avengers murdered her son in Sokovia. And that's really hits Tony hard, as you'll see later when they're back at Avengers base. He brings up the kid and all this. That's one of the things that moves Tony, I think. And that, I wasn't sure which side to be on. Honestly, if I had to pick a side, I'm on Captain America's side, but I don't like Captain America's motivations or really any of the team. Like, Cap's motivations are all for Bucky, who, despite him not knowing what he's doing, he's still a murderer. He's still killed, spoiler, it's a spoiler review, he still killed Howard Stark and Tony Stark's mother. Those actions can't be undone, and for Cap to think that Tony can just let it go at the end of the movie is stupid. Bucky, I've never really liked I guess I kind of like the Winter Soldier character, and like, I hate him, but it's not like he's just a bad character. He's a good character. The movie makes me not like him. I wasn't shocked to see him in Winter Soldier. I'm not shocked. I just didn't like his role as much there, even though the movie's about him. In the beginning of this one felt a little forced too. I don't know. It's just it's not a bad character. It just feels weird about everything about him. Falcon, I know he's just working with Captain America. He's okay, but Black Widow, I liked her. The whole banner thing with her was weird in Age of Ultron, but she's a traitor. And Scott Lang, Ant-Man, it's not he has a choice in this matter, really working for Captain America. As Falcon talked to him, or delivered a message to him through many people in the end of Ant-Man saying he wants to talk to him. So, I mean, Ant-Man just shows up like, oh, I'm going to work with the Avengers. What am I doing? So he goes to the airport and fights Tony and people. And I think introduction of Giant Man, or not, it's not introduction, him becoming Giant Man was pretty dang cool. And as soon as I saw Spider-Man like wrapping around Giant Man, I was like, oh, so Empire Strikes Back. And then Peter Parker actually brought that up, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. And the new characters, Black Panther, I can't wait for his movie. He's in the United Nations for the signing of the Sokovia Accords at the beginning, or the introduction to him, and the building gets exploded, and his dad dies, who is the king of Wakanda. The whole vibranium aspect, it's cool how vibranium has been in this whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, with Cap Shield, and is Bucky's arm vibranium? I don't know. I'm not sure. But it's been mentioned this is only in Wakanda. It's in Ultron. It's what Vision's made of, or it's in Age of Ultron, and the fact that Black Panther's whole suit is vibranium is just awesome. Like in the scene when he's fighting the Winter Soldier for the first time, and the helicopter comes, it's just like just raining bullets on him. He just stares at the helicopter and it's doing absolutely nothing. is just awesome. Chadwick Boseman is a great actor. I liked how he handled the role in 42, the Jackie Robinson movie. I liked him in that. And I didn't expect the accent in this. I just wasn't thinking about it, but it sounded really convincing. It kind of shocked me the way that Will Smith's accent shocked me in that Concussion movie. I didn't watch it, but just from the trailers and stuff, I'm like, oh, Will Smith's African. Or he's not actually African, but he's African American. You know what I mean? That's not his actual voice or his accent, but he was strong in this. He was the anti-Winter Soldier, like on Tony Stark's side. And I like how a lot of these characters aren't just motivated by the fact of the Sokovia Accords. They have their own motives, like Black Panther's is to avenge his father. Captain America is just to save his friend. Scott Lang just wants to be a part of something. Same with Spider-Man. He just wants to be a part of something. And speaking of Spider-Man, I felt he was strong. I did not like the idea of Tom Holland being Spider-Man at all. Whenever that second trailer dropped, I discussed with my dad a bunch. He drops down and sounds like a 7-year-old saying, "Hey everyone," and that was. I turned out liking it a lot more. He talks a lot, and it's like funny when like Falcon was like, you're usually not supposed to talk as much, and I was like, oh, my bad. And the one time that he goes to punch Bucky and ends up grabbing his arm, like, that's metal. Is that a metal arm? That's awesome. And then Bucky just like punches him. He talks a lot throughout combat, and he's not just a normal fighter. He's funny. He's comic relief, is how I was thinking of it. He's a strong addition, and Tony Stark is like is what inspires him, sort of. Like, Tony just shows up at his apartment after following him, and it's interesting to see what his standalone movie will be like, Spider-Man Homecoming. And apparently there's a second post-credit scene at the end of credits. Is there always like that in Marvel movies? I don't know. I know there's the first credits, and then there's 30 seconds long, and then the post-credit scene. And then apparently after the black credits, there's another post-credit scene. And I heard that it was Spider-Man coming back home or something. So I just looked it up, and yes, some of them do have two. And I've seen the two on the other ones that do have a mid-credit scene or a before-credit scene and a post-credit scene. Just have two little small tidbits. And I guess I just didn't think on this one. It left after the mid-credit scene. But I didn't miss too much, so it just sets up for Spider-Man Homecoming. I'm sure I could look it up on the internet, and it'll be there. It is there now, or it will be there. Overall, I think it's a good movie. I wanted to see Thanos, but I knew it's not an Avengers movie. It's a Captain America movie. We probably wouldn't see it. And it is a good Captain America movie. It is not an Avengers movie. Like, they stress it's a Captain America movie. It is an Avengers movie, but it stands good as the Captain America movie. Like, it has more of a... It's not the focus is more of him, but it just shines more when it's him. And if it was an Avengers movie, it could not focus on him and Bucky as much as it did. But because it's a Captain America movie, they can focus on him and the Winter Soldier like they did in the Winter Soldier. Because it just wouldn't fly if it was Avengers Civil War. Because they would just need to focus more on every character. Scarlet Witch is pretty dang cool. I love when they combine their powers, like at the beginning when they were in Nigeria or whatever, and Captain America has super strength and all that, and he can jump really high. And when he jumps, she uses her power to propel him into the building. And that's just cool. I just like whenever superheroes or anything really, any otherworldly beings in any pop culture or anything, combine their powers. It always just results in some cool stuff. Overall, this is a pretty good movie. One of my favorite in the MCU. I'd say along with Thor: The Dark World and Guardians of the Galaxy, this was my favorite movie so far in the MCU. I've seen all of them except The Incredible Hulk. Or is it just Hulk? It's Incredible Hulk, I think. That came out, it was the second movie in Phase 1. It's been forever because I'm only 14 right now. And 8 years ago I was 8 or 7, depending on whatever my birthday was. But when the first Iron Man came out, and I watched it when it came out, so I probably need to watch the first 3 Iron Mans. I don't remember a lot from them. And I need to rewatch the first Thor. I just rewatched the Captain America movies. I need to rewatch Iron Man and the first Thor. Just rewatch Avengers. I need to watch Incredible Hulk. But overall, like I said like 5 times already, it's a great movie in the MCU. Overall, I don't like giving numbers and stuff, but just to give it a number, I would give it a 9 out of 10. It's got some it's not imperfections, but it's not absolutely perfect. Like I didn't discuss. The ending made me feel, it's the ending. I'll talk about the movie's ending. It's not as a bad ending, and I'm not one of the ones like, oh, there should be a perfect ending and everyone goes home happy. No, I'm glad that it wasn't everyone's happy and that the bad guy did sort of win in this, or Zemo did win. He split the team. But I just wish someone had died. Like, I expected someone to die, something bad to happen. Like, I guess the one really bad thing was that Tony Stark did find out that the Winter Soldier killed his parents, and that just set him off berserk. But if someone had died, it made it that much worse. And I just feel like someone major I was expecting to die, honestly. Not Captain America or Iron Man, maybe Winter Soldier. I really wanted Winter Soldier to die whenever they were in that last fight. Him, Cap, and Iron Man. I really wanted Winter Soldier to die. Like, the movie did good setting it up, everything. Like, okay. But I'll just wrap this up. It was a good movie. If I had to give it a number, I'd give it 9 out of 10. There's some flaws, some imperfections, but overall it's a great movie, and you should go watch it. Like, it just makes me, I hate it we have to wait 2 years now for Infinity War. At least there's plenty of standalones in between. Can't wait for Spider-Man Homecoming, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. But regardless, this is Gavin Murphy with Byron Productions, and I will see you all in the next video.